You mentioned you guys are into real estate. Do you want to just talk to that for a minute? I'd love to know, like, what's obviously the markets are very different here in Australia than they are in the US. High level, like, what appeals to you about real estate? How's your high level? What's the sort of strategy been? Just talk to that just for a moment. It'd be awesome.
Right. So we've invested in a lot of things. And when we ask ourselves, what has given us the most consistent, best return on our investment with the greatest stability? And bar none, it is real estate. We've invested in all kinds of things from clean energy, different kinds of companies, medical, everything. And honestly, we're getting to the point where we're just like, none of that anymore. We're sticking with real estate. And we have some stocks, but we're out of the market right now because it's way too crazy. We don't know what's going to happen there. But yeah, real estate is very predictable. The key is you have to ask yourself, are you buying in a buyer's market or a seller's market? That will make the difference right there between your success and your failure, right? Because if you're buying in a seller's market, that's not good. That means sellers are getting top dollar for their prices and you're overpaying. So and people are very sheep-like in some ways. They tend to like, oh, everyone's getting real estate now and the market's so hot. I'm going to get in now. Worst time ever, but people don't see that. So you literally have to have a lot of patience and wait for those perfect buy times.
I couldn't agree more. It's so funny because you actually just you didn't even know this, but this is one of our key strategies is to identify the right places in the country to be able to time that market so that you get in when it's a buyer's just before it turns to a seller's, so that you get in at that right specific window where it's the right buy time. I think that's fantastic. So
that's awesome.
I will add to that if that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, one of the smartest, the guy with the biggest hedge fund is Ray Dalio. He said we got three functions now. We got inflation when stuff goes up, or in real estate it appreciates. You got deflation when stuff goes down. But he says we've hit the first time in history that we have reflation where there's stuff going down, like Brooks Brothers shirts. They just went bankrupt, so I bought $92 shirts. This isn't one of them, but I bought them for $8, and you go, oh my gosh. So you got deflation and you got inflation in food. So that's that. The first house I ever bought was on Long Island in East Islip, New York, for, you won't believe it, but this is 50 years ago, $14,000, $2,000 down. 3 years later, I sold it for $58,000. I thought, I'm a smart dude. I really don't. Now, the point is what Crystal said is correct. So you've got to, here's the two tricks that most people don't know. And I don't know if U-Haul exists in your country, but if it does, U-Haul right now is shipping out of New York and into Arizona, right? So you look at where's your U-Haul migration patterns. And then number two is you look at the driver's license pattern, because if you come out of New York or into California, into Arizona, where we live, you got to have a new driver's license. And right now we're expected to have 1 million people in the next year here. So real estate, the law of supply and demand, which is never going to change, is going to bring it up. But we think real estate's going to, some people are going to crash because so many people are unemployed and not going to get a new job.
Yeah, interesting. That is fascinating. And do you guys invest for growth or cash flow or both?
Both. Yeah, we like rentals. We like rentals in a certain niche.
Yeah. What's the niche?
Yeah. The niche is they have to have 2 to 3 bedrooms and a garage.
Okay, so single family homes?
Yeah, we like, well, no, condos are single family homes. Yeah.
And we like being by the hospital because people are getting older and they need it. And we have a $12 billion hospital you may not know here called, a little thing called Mayo Clinic. The real Mayo Clinic.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So we rent heavily to doctors and lawyers, doctors and nurses
and lawyers
and a few lawyers, but mostly they're going to keep their job. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to only get, more needed. And they happen to love, because we do really quality stuff.